Phil Hale! Hale? What is he? Fucking a type of weather characterised by frozen balls of rain falling out of the sky? Hale, but not spelt the same. And nothing to do with that whatsoever. I don't have much Phil Hale work in my collection of art books and such, because Phil Hale's work in book form is, books of his, I think, are pretty few and far between in terms of existence, and I believe mostly they're like catalogues from exhibitions of his, as opposed to straight art books made and put out for sale to the general public. Yeah, to the best of my knowledge. So God bless Ashley fucking Wood for putting this little Sparrow series out. I've shown a couple of these before. These are Phil Hale's Volume 1 and 2, which are very neat. So we're going to take a little look through, because he's more of a fine artist as opposed to, like a contemporary illustrator that I would usually show. Phil Hale was raised in Massachusetts and East Africa. Wow. He was apprenticed to the painter Richard Berry when he was 16. Oh, wow, young. And Berry's influence is still a powerful presence in Hale's work. Earlier collections of his work, including Goad, Relaxida and Mockingbirds, were published by Grant. He has lived in England for the last 21 years. His output over the last 5 years has been dominated by portraiture, including work for Jerwood Foundation, Laws and the National Portrait Gallery in London. He also did the official portrait of Tony Blair, who was Prime Minister at one point. That's book 2. Let's look at book 1. You can see already quite quirky, odd-looking oil figure paintings. That's sort of a large part of the work he's known for, as well as other things too. Yes, there's not really much I can say about his work. It is sort of, you look at it and you kind of, maybe it's open to interpretation, maybe there's more to it, but I don't know. The titles are very sort of evocative. The money shot is gone. The end to fidelity. But he's got an incredible sense of body and form and light and tone. A lot of his, I don't know if they're drawn from photos, but there's a lot like this that look like it's a photo taken with the flash on. So there's the immediate shadow behind the figure. He gets a lot of that out in his paintings really, really well. Really like darkly surreal work. Like that's like the window, so that's a window, I guess, so it should be like that, but then that's the wall, but is it the floor, because this is like a chair. Yeah, like surreal, but not like Dali surreal, where it's just all melting clocks and weird shit in the desert. This is like, it's so like knowable. Like it's just a dark room with a chair and a person, like, you know, this scene, this is like a common sort of thing, but it's just off enough that it's like almost puts you on edge. And even just having the body at that angle, and a wheelie bin in his head, and you can see the paintings are great. Like, that's a fucking gorgeous painting as it is, but it's the tone and the feeling in the painting that really, really sort of stands out. And completely separately, he does a lot. So these are some photo collages of just like machinery. He does, I think they're like parts of typewriters or something. And you can see it's loads of little bits of paper collaged together to make these like almost gun-looking things. I don't know, kind of cool. They're neat, they're cool, they're very good visually, they're really nice shapes. And it's very cleverly constructed out of different photos. But you see his paintings and then it's like, I don't give a fuck about this, I want to see more of this shit. But you know, like me, my own art, I've got my ballpoint drawings and my paintings, and they look like they could be done by completely different artists. And similarly with this, but his paintings are sort of, you know, pretty fucking killer, beating the shit out of a robot. It's just really good, man. It's really well painted, well realised. I love that he's not really showing the robot, but just parts of it. Because if you said paint someone fighting a robot, you go, oh, cool, I'll take up 2/3 of the page with a fucking cool, huge, you know, detailed mechanical robot and then a guy fighting it. Whereas this is like, you just get a sense of the robot being a bastard and then the guy there. Some old fucker with a weed whacker or something. If you told me that was a photo, I'd believe you, because it's that fucking good a painting. Oils on linen is typically what he uses. Have you seen the Simpsons episode where, I can't remember the context, but Bart's flying a kite at night time and Marge is just really freaked out by that. Just there's something weird about flying a kite at night time. And like this, so he's obviously working his like garden equipment in shorts and nothing else, but it's like night, so that's really sort of off-putting, quite surreal. Or you know, I don't know if that's necessarily the intention, but that's at least how the image comes across to me. And the way he leaves stuff out of certain paintings is another sort of surreal element, which is really cool. And he's really good at deforming the body just enough to where it's like, again, off kilter just slightly. And then shit like this is really, really cool. That's a very popular image of his, Gargoyle, 1996. Wow, that's really cool. Again, like just a little bit out of being ordinary. It's really, really good. And there, yeah, there's some of that like just slightly fucked upness, slightly deformed. Like everything's almost perfect. The wrinkles and the tone and the lighting, the gradient, like the shadow in the background from the flash, but then his face is just fucked up and distorted. Just a little bit fucked up. That really makes it feel even more fucked up. I don't know how many of my older videos you've seen, but there's a lot of shit I copied from this guy and put into my own work. No, I didn't. I'm totally original. Just cool. And it's shit like this that makes me look at my own art and go, like, maybe I should try to draw something with some feeling and emotion in it. Because obviously a lot of what I do is just comic books. It's just fucking Hulk and guns and muscles and whatever. You get shit like this that you look at it and you just, it makes you feel something. It's so weird, but it's just like, it's so human. I think his work is really human, like that, and that's it. It's surrealist, but it's like on such like a knowable human level. It's not really outrageous. It's not aliens and shit. And these drawings are all really cool as well. There's a really, like, you can tell they're rough lines, but you can see he has confidence to a degree, or at least appears to have confidence in his mark making, in his line work. Not his best work there. Book 2. I believe this has got a few less paintings, but it's still, you know, if you're looking for work by Phil Hale, this is another short collection of it, which is good to see. There's a real sort of sense of tension and fear in this piece. Again, I don't know if that's the point, but that's what it seems to me. The yellow is an important part of that, I think. More of this figure, he obviously paints it a lot, is a really weird, very, very cool image. I've seen a lot outside of these books. He does a lot of, or has done a lot of paintings of, like, basically, I guess, people fucking on cars, but like it looks like it's in a field or something, like a white van and a car, 2 people on the bonnet of the car naked and fucking, but again, nighttime, just taken with a flash, so you can hardly see anything except for those few objects. And then they do have, it's a real, I guess, like perverse horror feel to the images, while still being very, very fundamentally human, I guess. Which sounds like a bunch of bullshit, but that's really nice. I guess it makes sense, doesn't it? A lot more of these drawings here. I'm assuming these are more or less all observational drawings, like life drawings drawn in person. They're all very cool. I really like that as well, the fact that it's like pinned into the book. I mean, there's not much to these drawings. I say they're cool. They're not like outstanding drawings, but they are very, they're really nice drawings in terms of seeing behind the art, as it were. Seeing the fucking, the drawings that end up as paintings, or that at least lead to the muscle moving in such a way to later create a painting from similar imagery. I'm just making shit up now. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Some photography work. You can really see the similar like tones and things that you'd see in his paintings, which is cool. Because that almost looks like a painting. It's a really nice gradient. And then if I saw a Phil Hale painting of this photo, I probably wouldn't be able to tell necessarily that it was a painting or a photo, because they've both got like they cross over each other's boundaries. Awesome shit. More old men, more weird shit. It's such a common image. And it would be really easy to just paint that and be like, look, here's a painting of an old guy working his lawn, but it's just weird and cool. And then you think of, in terms of how it's painted, the sort of skill and knowledge that it takes to create that image, as well as he has. Spooky, 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 spooky. That's nice. It's just fucking good, man. It really bugs me that his books are so hard to get hold of, because I'd love to have loads more of his work available for myself, selfishly, but also to show off to other people. Compositionally, tone, form, colour, subject matter, it's all just fucking good. Sadly, that is all I've got of Phil Hale's work to show off. He's not one of the most famous artists on the planet, but he's also like really, really well known in terms of like certain art circles. So you might know who he is, you might not. Either way, I hope you appreciated this little look into some of his work. Hale. What is he? Some fucking